Hi guys, welcome to the mix. It's time for another weekly roundup. This will be the third of 2020, third of the new decade. And again, as you'll see, there's a fair amount on the wonky counter here. So be forewarned, it's probably going to be another long one. I'm really sorry to do this one to you again, but again, there's foodie bits to show you, so it's a little bit more exciting than me just rambling about strategy or whatever else I might do. So yeah, there's loads and loads to show you. Some of this hasn't even made the Instagram yet, the blog yet, the emails yet. We've had so much landing to kick us into the new year, which is fantastic. I'm never ever going to complain, but it's beyond our ability to kind of promote it and do it properly at the moment. But yeah, as usual, keep an eye on all the various channels to do it. And if you can stomach watching through this video, I'll do the usual index down below in the comments so you can jump to the various sections. Then great, you'll have a heads up on everything that's here, and yeah, one or two bits that are still coming up as well. So yeah, January has been action-packed. The just arrived category on site, after looking very bare for a couple of weeks after Christmas, is now overflowing. Speaking of the site, you'll notice a few changes. I'm desperately trying to roll some stuff in before we get even busier, and obviously I build all that stuff. So you will find Klarna is now a payment option at checkout. We're sort of trialing this, but we've had half a dozen people use it already, and I barely know how this thing works. So yeah, I'm guessing there's quite a lot of familiarity with it. So it's basically you can pay now, and then depending on the size of your order, you can do pay in 3 chunks. So let's say it's £100, you could pay in, well, 3 chunks would be £33 times 3. It's not very easy one to divide by 3, but you can pay just to soften the blow of doing a larger checkout and getting more of the goodies you want right now. So it's kind of casual credit, really. And the other one, probably the more popular one, is just pay later. So you buy now, you pick now, we send it out and everything, and you can pay, well, anytime you want really, but up to 30 days later, and this is with Klarna. So we get our cash, you get to get your goodies now, and it just gives you a little bit of a buffer if you're waiting for payday and you desperately want some of the exciting new things or supplements you need and the rest. So that's on site now, and we'll put in more details. There's a landing page about it if you follow the links. I might add it to the product pages, but I find it a little bit distasteful when there's sort of buy and purchase and credit banners everywhere, and we're not that kind of store. So I'd rather it were there as kind of a nice to have, as an option if you're really strapped for cash or you're really desperate for something and you want to, you know, however it works, you use these things. I don't want to try and twist your arm into buying stuff and then taking credit and then getting in trouble about it. So it's there anyway. It seems to be popular so far. The search engines, the various category pages. Sorry, I know I shouldn't lead into these videos with the boring stuff, but they no longer page. They should do what they call infinite loading. So the pages will just keep adding items to it as you scroll down, and then there's a sort of load more option. So you're probably very used to this. It's sort of how the Facebook newsfeed works. It just keeps going, right? It's like that, so that might make things a bit easier. You can also quick add to cart from those pages. So from the search pages and the brand pages, the category pages, instead of adding an item and it going to the shopping cart and then you having to go back to where you were, you can just click add an item, and unless it's a bundle one where you have to choose other things, it'll just add that thing, and then you can change the numbers or remove them from cart, from basket at the end of the day. So yeah, that's my boring techie stuff. There's other bits that are going to be hitting the site as well, and I'm going to try and speed the whole thing up for mobile, and I've got a whole raft of things I want to do. But yeah, if I leave that stuff till the end, it doesn't give it a proper introduction to you guys doing it. And some of these features are worth doing, and they're dreadfully boring to put online or to put into emails, and you might miss it on site. So I think if I fire it at you now, you've got that in there. Anyway, with that in mind, that's a few minutes of boring stuff there. So sorry if you've sat through that and you don't use the site or you're not in any way interested. It's proteinpickandmix.co.uk, as if you couldn't have guessed. Right, we'll get on with the new thing. So we'll start with food, as always, and we've got a good variety of things here. We're going to start with the outright bars, because this is something I particularly have been excited about for a long, long time. It is hugely overdue, so it only makes sense to lead in with it here. Outright bars have been in the mix for a year or so now. I mean, time flies, obviously. They seem fairly new, but I think they've just grown very quickly, and a lot of flavours and stuff have arrived. The branding's come along a long way in a short space of time. So this is Mark Lobliner of MTS Nutrition's fame's MTS Nutrition fame bar, something like that, and it's a functional foodie sort of one, but it's a real food, it's a whole food bar. So a little bit unlike, let's say, even the USN bar we've got there, the Grenade bars, the Bear Bells bars, a lot of the best-selling bars in the sort of sports nutrition industry. This is far closer to handmade, home-baked sort of thing. So it's using, you know, tried and true ingredients. Yeah, not the lowest calorie ingredients, not the lowest sugar ingredients. So it's oats, so it's going to be a good source of carbs there, but yes, higher carbs. It's going to be peanut butter, and who doesn't like peanut butter? It's healthy fats, there's good protein in there as well, keeps it moist. Makes it very decadent and enjoyable, and he does an almond butter one as well. So nut butters at the moment, he's actually doing a sunflower seed one, so it's going to be nut butter free. So yeah, loads more stuff already lined up for 2020 for Mark. And then choc chips, flavouring, etc., etc. And the sweetness comes from not refined sugar, but honey, or in the case of the vegan ones we've just got here, maple syrup, which is very exciting. So this is a good source of like low GI energy and stuff. So the sugars in here are great, certainly if you're refueling after a workout, hell, if you're using it as a pre-workout even. But the really cool thing is there's none of the crazy high fiber syrupy sort of stuff that goes into a lot of the bars at the moment, like the Quest bars back in the day, the isomalto oligosaccharides, and there's not a ton of sugar alcohols and stuff. So essentially sugar alcohol free, which basically means nothing in here should cause any stomach distress. They are higher calories, so it's about 300 calories for 60-gram bar, and the protein's a tad lower, so it's more like 15, 16, 17 grams. I think 18 on the banana walnuts, the dairy one, so it's not too bad. But the protein's slightly lower. Obviously, the sugars are higher thanks to the maple and to the honey. But it's just, yeah, you'll feel pretty good on these bars, and because they're real food ingredients, they're actually really satisfying. So you won't really feel like you need to stuff a couple of bars in or a whole cookie or whatever. You actually get a hell of a macro ticking kind of kick from these bars. They do feel good, and it's obviously something that's suitable for everyone. So in America, they've had a lot of luck. Mark's had a lot of luck breaking into like Costco and things, so like more consumer stores, because they are instantly familiar. I mean, mums could give them to their kids for lunch boxes and stuff like that. There's nothing scary in there at all. Like, they are protein, but they're not high protein. They're not protein bars. They just happen to have a good amount of protein in. So it's an interesting one. The branding's obviously very, very colourful and friendly. It's getting better and better. I don't think we've got any of the old style. Yeah, I mean, this is an interesting one, just because they started life like this. And in fact, the earliest batch had a glossy label, so they went matte, which was nicer, but then they've morphed into things like this, which is obviously phenomenal. It's so much nicer, and it looks as outright delicious as it now tastes, including the boxes. They didn't come in boxes in the first place. That's you know, it's how crazy the whole setup was with Mark getting this to market and making this kitchen with the family and everything. So you don't need the big long spiel. We've been over it. Basically, the big first here is the vegan. So these are the first two vegan bars he's done. There's banana walnut, so it's a vegan version of the whey banana walnut we've had for some time. It's one of my favourites. It's a good candy banana taste comes through. And there's a straight up choc chip. So choc chip in the peanut butter and the almond butter have always been best sellers. They're kind of the classic, the default, the de facto, the ones that are really going to sell the idea, the outright bar idea. So it's the fundamental base, tarted up with choc chips, and you can't really beat it. It is a classic. So we've got that in the vegan too, and then there's the toffee. So we're going to start with vegan. I'll show you this first, and I'll take you through the toffee, which is pretty spectacular. But for the vegan, I did debate not even showing you this, because to be honest, there's not a lot, certainly visually, between this and the whey version of the same thing, the original outright bar banana walnut. But I think that's a good thing. I mean, you might say, yawn, boring, I don't need to see it then, but the fact that there's no significant compromise between the dairy-free version and the dairy version. So yes, Mark had to lose the honey, because honey not vegan, so he's moved to maple syrup, which is great. It's actually quite subtle in this, though. I thought there'd be more maple flavour, but yeah, either way, you wouldn't really tell the difference between the honey and the maple version, so that's great. And the... what else has he done? Obviously, the protein source has moved from sort of isolate whey to largely pea protein. But again, yellow split peas, it's like highest quality pea protein as well there. So obviously, Mark's very fussy about this stuff. There's no real compromise in terms of texture, I guess, because the peanut butters and stuff are added in there. It's no drier. Yeah, I'll show you. I'll talk as I'm actually waving it around. So it doesn't smell vegan, doesn't smell plant-based. You still get the same instant hit of sweetness, the same instant kind of decadence right out of the packet. It's kind of, you can see it's moist. It's going straight up my fingers. That's the nut butter doing that, but obviously keeps it, well, makes it very, very easy to eat and enjoy. So there you go. Very cute packages. Yes, the kind of obligatory vegan green, and there are leaves kind of watermarked on it, but yeah, very, very nicely done. subtle, eye-catching. Yeah, it's just a fantastic job, really, for something that, you know, Mark's put together himself and then in multiple iterations have improved on each other. So there's the bar. It looks kind of like a sort of flapjacky, peanut buttery sort of blob. Aesthetically, none of these things are too pretty, but there's no coating or anything, as you see. It's just straight up kind of, you know, minimal ingredients on the label, trustworthy, enjoyable. I mean, with things this kind of rich and flavorful, you don't need to tart it up too much. It's that good. So, oh, see that? So big dried banana chunks, lovely. You can see the walnuts in there, real walnuts as well. Yeah, all natural and all that jazz. Yeah, not a huge amount more to see than that, but it's soft, it's chewy, it's satisfying. This is bursting full of flavour. The banana is my favourite of it. I think firstly because banana and maple are a classic combo, go really well, like banana maple French toast, anything like that. So that's a winner. But you get texture. The actual bar itself is sort of fudgy, it's squishy. It's very pleasant. It's the sort of thing that you imagine, the same with all these bars, you imagine, or the outright ones, you could wedge together yourself at home. But I think that's the wonder of it. It's just in a convenient form factor, it's cute. It's not a bad price for what you get. Again, real ingredients and the rest, and it will not leave you feeling kind of, you know, bloated. There's minimal chance of it actually reacting with you. So that's what's really cool about these bars. So I think people are realizing the extra calories you tend to get for this and the slightly lower protein is worth it, given how clean it feels. So there you go. Pea protein, right? This is a funny one. I don't know. I can taste pea protein in this. But it's a million miles from offensive. It's incredibly close to the original one. But I'm not sure what it is. Part of me thinks, because I'm eating this from a sort of academic perspective, and I try all these snacks, and I've been thinking about them for years and overanalyzing them and doing all the ant stuff that I usually do, that I'm hunting that vegan, that sort of savoury taste to it, and then saying, yes, it's in the bar. Because we've tried it with the team here, and yes, they know it's vegan too, but there seems to be some debate about whether or not there's any you can actually tell. I think if you look for it, it's there, but I wonder if the fact that I am looking for it has made me think it's there, whereas if I gave it to someone who was unaware it was a vegan bar, they'd probably be none the wiser. I mean, the fact is, vegan, plant-based or otherwise, this is a delicious bar. The fact that it's got pea in there doesn't really matter, and if you are looking to avoid dairy for whatever reason, forget the vegan thing, you've suddenly got another sort of intolerance avoided with these wonderful outright bars. So yeah, the maple I expected to taste a little bit more, and the pea I'm pleased it's as recessive as it is. Some of you may not even realise a significant difference, but either way, there's enough sweetness there to counteract any kind of slight savoury tone you'd get from the pea. Obviously, same quality protein source. There is actually rice protein in there too, I think, so it's actually going to be quite a complete protein thing. Usually they have to get a blend of the pea and the rice to simulate the dairy protein as a complete molecule and stuff with all the amino acids you want, but. Yep, it's lovely. It's really, really nice. So Mark's been very excited about these, partially because he's scored a vegan bar that actually tastes really good, but also just because it's something new and expansion to the line. So obviously he's then now looking at doing vegan-friendly and no nut butter, which is going to be a real first, because these are always peanut butter-based bars fundamentally. And he's just announced a higher protein, like a chocolate brownie one with protein crisps in it. So that's getting it closer to the 20 grams that you're more used to with the protein bar. So he's really ticking all the boxes, which is very cool. So banana walnut, choc chip. These are in the same outright delicious bundle. You can buy it alongside the whey ones, and I don't think anyone's going to have any problem with doing it. You won't think, it's vegan. There is none of that at all. It's still a lovely bar, albeit ever so slightly higher calories. So you get an extra sort of 20 calories, I think, versus the whey versions of the same. But the protein's roughly equivalent. 17 grams in the banana, and it's 16 grams in the choc chip. But yeah, long time coming. They're finally in the mix now, so now even more people can enjoy these phenomenal bars. Next one, going to dive in my new NOCCO. I'll take you through this in a bit. We've got the Ice Soda. So if you're NOCCO enough, you need to try this guy. So we'll come back to that. Right, outright bar one more time. We've got Toffee. So let's bring this straight in. No more ado. I'll just kick the shelf. Toffee. Okay, action stance. Yep, this looks great. We've got a butterscotch in this already. We've obviously got choc chips, we've got white chocolate cranberry, we've got oatmeal raisin. There's a ton of different flavours. Toffee, when I heard about it, I was like, well, that's just much for muchness, right? What's the big difference between the butterscotch and the toffee? Actually, there is quite a difference. And what's really cool about it is I'm going to say it's probably my favourite. I really do like the dairy banana walnuts because I love the sort of foam banana overtone to it. With this one, oh, this is mad. This is crack, guys. With this one, it's probably the sweetest. And I have that rampant sweet tooth, the same thing that made me create this company. This is probably the sweetest outright bar of them all. Butterscotch is up there. The banana's up there, to be honest. And what's the other one that's pretty sweet? The s'mores, well, it's sweet by virtue of what's in it, but it's not inherently, it's not as sweet as a base. Anyway, sorry, shut up. You can see the same thing, that same sort of flaky, fudgy, chewy, part flapjack, part kind of nut butter bar texture going on. See, what I'm trying to show you is, whilst these aren't decorated, they have actual toffee chunks in them, and they are so nice. Yeah, you can just about see it. There's a toffee chip, if I get the thing to focus. See that in the corner there? Right there. Kind of there. Yeah, it's full of those. So, we actually did a peanut butter. I can't remember what we called it actually, toffee peanut butter chunk or something like that. But we had back in the day, I think it was the last pick and mix one we actually launched. It was full of these. They are, when I usually get them on, okay, you know the carte d'or ice cream, the caramel carte d'or ice cream, this is the chunks all over that. So, they're very soft, there's no hard chewy, it's not like taffy or anything, it's not hard candy, it's not like a Werther's original crunch of toffee. It's very, very soft, very, very giving. Like, you know, you bite it and it melts away, but it adds to the fundamental sweetness, the decadence of this thing. It's, I mean, yeah, toffee, but you could call it a fudge bar or something. Basically, I'm thinking, you know, all Mark would have needed to do was put some sprinkles on this and it would have been a birthday cake bar. He hasn't done a birthday cake one yet. I wouldn't be surprised if one appears at some point, given the number of flavours he's banging out. We got cookies and cream in before too long. White chocolate peppermint bark, I think, is coming before too long. We did manage to score some of those, I think. Fingers crossed, sorry. Anyway, yeah, this is the sweetest of them all. Yeah, that's so it gets my vote there, but I love the toffee chunks in it. So it's kind of powerfully flavoured, but understated at the same time. If you like the sweeter side of these things, if you're a big fan of the butterscotch and stuff, you're going to love this one too. If you are kind of more on the slightly less, I mean, they're all sweet, but the choc chip, the oatmeal raisin side of things, just grab one or two of these in your next outright bar 12 bar mix on the site, and I think you will thank me. Because this was an instant kind of open the packet, bite it, oh my god, yes, he did it, he pulled this one off. So yeah, very excited about this. It doesn't really need much more than that. It's the same fundamental outright bar magic, but with extra toffee chunks. And it doesn't get any sweeter and more over the top. So I'm telling everyone to buy this one now. And yeah, provided you like things mad sweet, you're not going to find a nicer bar. So yeah, 70 grams of protein in that, 300 calories. So again, slightly higher for the outright ones on the dairy side, but yeah, it does taste phenomenal, and you're not going to be able to eat more than one of these because it's going to hit that sweetness spot so nicely. Okay, that's outright done. I am, oh bloody hell, I'm probably 18 minutes in. Woo! Okay, so Ice Soda NOCCO. Let's do this one here. So I'm ready for an energy drink. Slightly odd one for me today because I was, as I think I mentioned in the last video, going to see a concert last night. So I saw Slipknot finally. And so there you go, the Ice Soda. That's the brand new flavour of NOCCO. To me, I'll take you through it. You know NOCCO, it's the BCAA fortified. It is fundamentally an energy drink. They have some caffeine-free versions, but you get 180 milligrams of caffeine in just 330 millilitres, which actually gives it quite a good kick. It's a little bit fizzy, so it's not still like some of the 3Ds and things like that. It does keep a little bit extra effervescence, but because there's actually less liquid here and the liquid itself is kind of more crammed with caffeine, you can sip it more slowly and still get that kick from it. So even doing CrossFit, and it's a big market they target with this, you're not going to have any, it's not going to be too unsettled from having the NOCCO. So NOCCO, no carbs company, going back to the origins of the name there. It has BCAA's 4:1 ratio, leucine, blah, blah, you know the usual jam there. So we've been doing NOCCO for ages, always been a bestseller in the mix. I think Miami remains the bestseller, but going back, Tropical's always done well, Passion's always done well, Red Berry's always done quite well, Caribbean's always done quite well. Some of them The flavors are too sharp for some. We do get that feedback in, like almost bitter, but I think it's because the amount of caffeine in the drink, they have to lean quite heavily on the flavors to make up for the sort of caffeine bitterness. And that works for some people, but not for others, which is why also the caffeine-free varieties, the citrus, elderflower, and the apple, are particularly popular because they don't have to cover up quite such a tang of caffeine. So yeah, if you find some of the other flavors too mild, but you still want to prove that you're NOCCO enough, then the caffeine-free, the stim-free ones are actually really nice soft drinks. Anyway, this one, caffeine one, good one to kick off the year. It's got a kind of frosted label, ice soda. We're in the deepest, darkest depths of winter right now, so it's quite appropriate. Thing is, it's a kind of tropical flavour. It's quite a mild one, as far as NOCCO is concerned, which makes this one of my absolute favourites. It's sort of tutti frutti. So I actually get banana, weirdly, but it's a kind of exotic banana-y taste. There's probably a hint of lemonade underneath the whole thing. Yeah, it's it reminds me ever so slightly of Malabar chewing gum. I don't know if you know that. Is it chewing gum? Or Malabar chews? I think you get them in the sort of, I remember them holidays to France and stuff. But the kind of yellow sticks. I used to buy Tutti Fruttis here as a kid. I think they were like 5p. I mean, they'd probably be like £5 now. God knows what the inflation is on it. But these sort of like taffy, banana-flavoured fruity sticks taste just like that. Anyway, it wasn't what I was expecting. It's much nicer than I was expecting. I thought it would just be a lemonade. It's actually this tropical Tutti Frutti thing. So yeah, best served ice cold and stuff, as we said. This is actually a, yeah, right up there for me in terms of the NOCCO flavours. This is possibly my favourite, certainly the first one I'd reach for at the moment, and we'll see how it does going into the summer. But if anything, I'd say it's a more summer-appropriate flavour. So thank you, NOCCO, for this. Always nice to work with the guys that hooked us up with some stuff. It's the same company as Bear Bells, as you guys know, Vitamin Well, so I've mentioned this before. Bear Bells, we don't have anything new for you at the moment. Obviously, we prefer bars to energy drinks as much as we love our energy drinks. Bear Bells, I think April, I think they're targeting some exciting stuff coming, so look out for that. And yeah, they're in the mix now, so you can... there's a NOCCO Ice Soda specific listing, so you can buy cases on there, single cans. Obviously, the more you buy, the cheaper it gets, so you can do that. Or if you want to mix and match them, you can go on the sort of general NOCCO. There's a separate, it's a bit confusing, there's a separate list with all the NOCCO flavours, a sort of drop down, and again, there's the 24. I think per can is £1.45 when you buy a case of 24. So we've put a keen price on it because we like sharing these things. And you can mix and match your trays. You could do 6, you know, it's just to make up your 24 or more. So yeah, they're in the mix right now, and yeah, doing very, very well indeed. So that was a pleasant surprise. Definitely my favourite NOCCO flavour for a while. And being as busy as we are, all the energy we can get is always popular right now. Oh, okay, outright done. NOCCO done. Okay, two more service brands, I think you could call them, slightly more run-of-the-mill, certainly in the UK, brands you're seeing all over the place. Yes, there's Grenade now, but things like PhD and USN. And we will start with, we've done bars, we're going to jump to the PhD. This is a bit of a novel one. They're calling it a cake. So I'm going to bring this one in. I say they're calling it a cake, you'll see what I mean. It isn't really a cake. It's cakey, but it's a cookie, if anything. So yeah, as you notice, it doesn't look like a big stodgy cake. It is a flat cookie thing. So yeah, there you go. I'll open it up and you can see what I mean. So it's still very, very nice. 15 grams of protein, less than 2 grams of sugar, 1 to 2 grams of sugar across the 4 flavours we have of these. So we've got birthday cake. We have got, where are they? Birthday cake will go through, you can go in there. There's a carrot cake. Whoa, I'll show you that one as well because I just want to highlight something on that. The salted caramel, obviously the classic. I think it has to be a salted caramel. And under here, there is a Jaffa cake. So that's a chocolate orange. Anyway, birthday I'm going to show you, and then I'll show you the carrot cake as well, because it's a bit weird, that one. So, ready? That's not a cake. It's probably a cake in the Jaffa sense, right? So, yes, it's got the obligatory sprinkles. We love to see that. It's got a kind of white chocolatey fondant sweet coating. And inside, here's the novelty. Break it open. Okay. Oh, wow, look at that. This is probably going to fall out. Ow. Okay. They are jolly nice, actually. Sorry. Okay. Very pink, very cute. This is what we're looking at. So they're filled. That's a pretty cool novelty. So coated, filled, and cakey. Let's make sure you can actually see this. There you go. Now, I mean, let's break it up. Let's make a mess. But yeah, I mean, they're really, really quite nice and really, really quite unusual. So, I mean, it just looks like a coated cookie, like the Sinfit cookies we had, for example. But you could call this a... Come on, focus. You could call this... Oh, it's just not doing it. You could call it a cookie cake, I suppose. But it is lighter. It's kind of... It's dense cake. It's closer to... dangerously easy to eat. It's closer to Madeira cake, I suppose, or those kind of, you know, little fairy cakes you get in multi-packs in the supermarket. Maybe in a sort of French sense again, like madeleines. So yeah, very, very light sponge. It's fairly dry, which makes it sort of flaky, but obviously the sweetness is added by the coating, which is very nice, and the jammy sort of filling. So all 4 flavors have a filling of a sort. And so, it might be purple, but it's a sort of raspberry, zingy flavour, so it makes a sort of Victoria sponge sort of thing. In the birthday cake one, you get little crunchy sprinkles on top. They're fairly inoffensive. They're kind of like the ones on the Grenade birthday cake bar, in fact. So they don't taste of much themselves, but they add to the experience, and we love sprinkles. So I'm going to show you the carrot cake as well. This is a little bit mad, okay? Because this is actually a negative thing I'm going to take you through here. But when I was eating these, I was so disappointed that I have to find some way to sort of give some of you guys a heads up. I'm sure you'll get your head around it, but it's a shame. I love carrot cake. In the mix, we love any carrot cake flavours. We love any cinnamon spiced flavours. Broadly speaking, 'tis the season for it as well. And it looks cool, right? So ready for it. Bit smashed, this one. There you go. So you've got PhD, SmartCake here. I should say they're about 230 calories, just over 200 calories, 15, 16 grams of protein, I'd say less than 2 grams of sugar, as already said. So pretty good, justifiable macros. They're a good size. They're fairly satisfying, very novel and everything. Anyway, with this one, the carrot cake, smells absolutely amazing. Smells like hot cross buns, so really nice. Easter appropriate coming up. Let's ditch that. But as you notice, they've put some weird stuff on top. So I don't know. They look, honestly, being unkind, they look a bit like bacon bits. They're not. They are dried carrot. So they've tried to be super authentic. They've done a carrot cake with real dried carrots on top. Their problem is the carrot is too dry. So the actual stuff inside, very nice. You can see it's got a sort of buttercream, cream cheesy filling. And there's a cinnamon kind of, cakey, basey centre sort of thing. The coating is a kind of cinnamony white chocolate again, I guess, as well. There's a pleasing level of sweetness, nice texture to it, except on the pieces. So, it's not awful, but the carrot things are just quite hard. And the cake is quite soft. So it gives us this weird clash of things in the middle, and the carrot pieces end up remaining after you finish the rather nice tasting cookie cake thing. You've swallowed that. You've got chewy carrot pieces. And I think, for my money, I mean, the rest of it is so nice. It's just, I think it's a shame because it distracts from because there's no flavour added by those carrot pieces. They're sort of redundant flavour-wise. I think it's just decoration. But they're a fair size, and they're quite tough. So I actually find it taking away from what is otherwise would be a really, really pleasant cookie/cake sort of thing. So without those, that would be a 9 out of 10 from me. With those, I think he pulls it right down to a 5 out of 10 because they're quite stubborn. They're quite stubborn as well. So it's not that you can brush them off. Some of them will fall off, but I don't know. Like you'll see it when you try these things, and I do suggest everyone does. I think they're a very novel product. We have nothing else quite like it, and we always give kudos for that. I have no doubt if PhD have pulled it off, the manufacturer will probably find a way to get it to some other brands as well. That's what tends to happen. And so you will probably see these cookie cakey type things popping up with a few other brands, maybe even USN, Grenade, whatever. But yeah, USN, first blood on these, first to the punch, and the 4 flavours. They've ticked a load of classics. They're all really, really nice. I've shown you my favourites. The carrot cake in terms of the base cookie is a favourite, and the birthday cake with the sprinkles and the jam in the middle is a favourite. Salted caramel, it's a very intense, deep salted caramel, almost a coffee overtone to it. So it's good. It's this one you'd enjoy in moderation, I suppose, but I really liked it. Some people will pick up coffee and then not like it, but yeah, otherwise pretty safe bet. And the Jaffa cake, it's got the same sort of Jaffa filling. Obviously, the texture is quite close to that of an actual Jaffa cake, so in many ways it's closest to what it's actually called. So yeah, points for that. So 4 flavours. We've got a sort of Be Smart Eat Cake mix, so you pick and mix 12 of these. As usual, they're sort of £2, £2.15, something like that. But pretty cool snacks. It's just, I'd say, carrot cake, you're going to love the flavour. You might, like me, struggle with the carrot pieces on top. Find them a bit chewy, stuck in your teeth, etc. They just don't need to be there. So, yeah, if you were going to follow my advice, I'd get the cookie, brush off, pull off the carrot things, and then enjoy it. Otherwise, you might have a little bit of a shock when you bite into it. Ah, see, I've still got carrot cake. Pieces. Yeah, the flavour, spectacular though. Really good carrot cake. Where are we at? Half an hour, so actually that's not so bad. Okay, one more thing on the snack front. I'll whip you through this. USN, we love the Trust Crunch here. We've gone on about it a bunch. Why do we like it? Well, nutritionally, it's about the same as many of our other bestsellers. Packaging-wise, yeah, it's quite striking, but it's kind of so-so. No, the reason we really like it, it's not the look of it or anything, it's not the price of it. It is the amount of caramel. So it's not that different in format to many of the other bars on the market, certainly the best-selling ones like Good Aid and Bear Bells, but there does seem to be extra caramel in there, and there's, along with the name, Trust Crunch, there's a good crunch in the coating. So it's a good mixture of textures, it's a fun one, it's very satisfying. It's a bar we'd say, oh, you might not have tried these, and you might not even think to buy anything from USN, but this bar's worth a look. I actually like their cookies too, actually, so USN are doing well on the snacks at the moment. But bar-wise, I'm not going to pretend. We've got the cherry chocolate, I should say. So I will come in. Some of these you might find in Asda, incidentally. I think somehow they got stocked before it actually went to distributors and stuff, which is not unusual. I mean, a lot of these brands are doing more with convenience and supermarkets nowadays, so it's all good. Any chance to get these great snacks, and obviously you'll always find us online at proteinpickandmix.co.uk, where you can pick and mix them and get hopefully the best selection, variety of flavours, and yeah, sales pitch, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, cherry chocolate, I actually saw a couple of people share these on Instagram from the supermarkets probably 2 weeks ago, and then it took a little bit longer to actually turn up with the sports nutrition distributors, but boom, they are now here. So yeah, cherry chocolate, not chocolate cherry, and this is probably apt because it's a lot more cherry than it is chocolate. The actual flavour, as we've said in the listing, is along the lines of a Black Forest Gatto. So you usually get kind of maraschino cherries, is it, or sort of Kirschy type things. It's a very intense, almost, you know, boozy, sozzled cherry flavour with a dark chocolate kind of meeting it. The coating on this is milk chocolate, not dark chocolate. So actually, I'd say it's probably not intense enough to fully balance the cherry. They have gone fully down the cherry route. So if you love cherry, this is the bar for you. Cherry is all out the experience from the thing. So it's much more like a cherry sort of truffle than it is, I don't know, like the Black Forest Gatto cake. In terms of the cherry, it's quite intense, quite boozy, as I say. So it's less cherry Bakewell as well. So it is more the Gatto. It is an after-dinner one. It is a little bit naughty. It is a little bit heavy, but it does make a statement. It's pretty cool, and you get the great texture as you do with the Trust Crunch bars. So yeah, enough nonsense. I'll show you. Lovely knobbly texture. Kind of drizzle on top as well, which is a nice touch. You can see they're sort of shooting for a truffle thing there. Well, there you go. The really striking thing about this, let's break it open, is that. So you are getting a ton of caramel. There you go. Tons of the stuff comes out. You get the protein crispy crunchies on the top. It's a milk chocolate coating it, but it's got a blood red, well, not blood red, let's say cherry red, that's more appropriate, cherry red core on the thing. So that's a little bit weird and out of place, but it does indicate the strength of the cherry flavour within this bar. Yeah, so it is pretty fearsome. Yeah, that covers it. So points for novelty on that, and then all the other usual. I'm gonna have a lot to eat after this. I've just done deadlifts. I do deadlifts every Sunday. Deadlift Sunday. So it's actually a good reward. I didn't obviously do the videos on Saturday, as I said, making up for lost time here. So apologies, this is going to hit YouTube a little bit late, but I'll dash back and try and make up for lost time. Anyway, yeah, loads to eat. The Trust Crunch there, I'm not going to say it's my favourite. I'm not a mad cherry fan. Personally, I probably preferred the raspberry cheesecake. Overall, it's a sweeter bar, and it's more of a kind of, I don't know, birthday cake mixed with fruit. It's more of a birthday cake experience, and I am a sucker for those cheesy kind of corny birthday cake flavours. But the raspberry cheesecake was also vegetarian, so a couple of grams less protein, blah, 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 blah. This is not a vegetarian one, unfortunately, so there's, I think, collagen in there as per usual, but it does get the protein back up to 2 grams. The sugars are just a couple of grams. Very, very exciting. Very, very knobbly and stuff as per usual. Yeah, there are little chocolatey sort of cherry flecks and stuff inside as well. Yeah, it's a nice bar, but I mean, some of you will dodge fruity flavors, and this is a very, very heavy cherry one. So it's another one of those, it's worth a try. I don't think it's going to be up there with the, the peanut butter white chocolatey one or the cookie dough ones, and indeed the triple chocolate that's really nice from them. But it's a worthy addition to the Trust Crunch range, and it's in our Trust Crunch, Trust in the Crunch 12-bar mix, pick and mix bundle on the site now as usual. Yeah. It's a good novelty one, but yeah, it's a real kind of, oh, what can I liken it to? Like the flavour, the fruit is so strong, it's almost like a cherry chewing gum type thing. The chocolate backs off into the background, but yeah, it's good, and the texture is always good. So yeah, okay, that's all the snacky food bits done. I mean, I say it's done. I'm pretty sure there's other stuff I haven't even covered here. But these are the kind of the big hitters, and I don't want to make this mad long. And we are at 35 minutes. So, okay, we're going to jump on to... I've kind of done the NOCCO, so you've seen that. They're all on site now, and I'll keep enjoying that. But one of my favourite NOCCOs to date. Definitely try that one. Okay. Supplements. Let's try and clear up a little bit. On the end here, we have... We have Ghost. I will do that one afterwards, because I kind of mentioned it last video, because we just got the stock in then, so I was going to do a bigger feature on it as well, but you'll see in the post on site. For now, I'm going to cover PES to begin, just because it's been a little while before we've had too much to shout about on the PEScience front, so I have said bits and pieces are coming. We're hoping to rekindle things a bit this year and get some more of the stock in and better stock on the proteins, maybe even look at the pricing and bring that back down, loads of other stuff. But for now, we have got an extra flavour across pretty much the entire range you probably are interested in sour green apple. So it's taken a while for PES to sort of get on board with doing candy flavours. They're always quite sweet, but they don't really run after the candy thing. Sour green apple, in terms of that magical sweet-sour combo, is always quite a good flavour system. And we now have it in high volume, which is the PES's best-selling stim-free pump product. It has been one of our best sellers in the mix for 3 years now. And it's one of those, like, don't mess with a classic. It's... they're probably more like highly dosed pump products on the market. They're probably slightly cheaper pump products on the market, but it just works. It's a fantastic formula that's tried and tested, trusted worldwide, blah, blah, blah. Even Dan, when he was formulating the Ghost pump product, said, I consider the PES one to, well, up to this point, mine's now better, but I consider the PES high volume to be the best on the market. So they did nail it with this product. And you can stack it, obviously, so you can have it with your existing pre-workout. You could have it with, obviously, Prolific or indeed Alphamine. That's the other PES one. That's what they want you to do. But yeah, we've got high volume in sour green apple. And this is great, obviously, if you're training late and the rest of it, there's no stims, and you do get that great vein-splitting pump and pump up the volume and all that sort of hashtaggy stuff that goes with this product. Am I touching the right product? Yes, that one, yeah. The other one, I'll bring it in anyway. So, that's your high volume. Woo! So, yeah, sour green apple. So very, very zingy tart flavour, very nice and refreshing. And we've got the same in Prolific. Prolific is actually equally a popular product for us. It's a very, it's a bit like the Ghost Legend, but maybe a tad weaker. So if you don't want beta-alanine, which is the tingling stuff, right? So some people absolutely love it. Some people find it very distracting. Some people find it scary. They think there's something wrong with the product. PES boycott that ingredient entirely. It's not a particularly effective ingredient, certainly not workout to workout. It has some benefits when you have it in your system over an extended period, the same way creatine does, right? You have to have it in your system for a few weeks, hitting a certain dosage before it sort of yields its best results. Same with beta-alanine, like instantly you will get the kind of nerve tingly thing, but to actually have anything significantly affect your performance, it's best to have it on the reg, as it were. If you're having it in your pre-workout every day, every other day, or how often you work out, yes, you will have enough in your system to actually reap some benefits. But in the instant, if you're having it every now and then for a workout, you're probably not getting much from it. So losing the beta-alanine, not really a bad call. And indeed, Ghost have done the same in the Ghost Burn. There's no beta-alanine there, no tingles. So Prolific, very popular pre-workout for us. It's actually low caffeine, but they've pushed up the nootropics and the sort of feel-good factor there. So you get really, really good mental clarity and focus. You feel pretty good on this product. There's enough caffeine, 160 milligrams that are serving there, to give you a bit of a kick, to know you've taken something, to sort of warm you up and get your heart going, but not nearly enough to give you some sort of horrible crash. So you get the focus, the mood boosting kind of things, you get a little bit of stimulation from it, you get a little bit of caffeine hit, and it's got some pump stuff in it too. So it stacks brilliantly with the high volume, but it has citrulline in there as well, 4 grams of that, not citrulline malate, full on citrulline, so good hit from that as well. So it does a little bit of everything in a package that's, well, pretty affordable, but it's got great flavors, it'll make you feel pretty good, you're not, you know, it's the sort of product you want to take again and again and again. So there you go. It's an easy sell. Because it's, if you're used to high stim products, it's not going to cut it for you. You'd have to do a couple of servings. It's a great workout in a couple of servings. That's what I tend to do, but it does make it slightly less value. But for some people who are more casual going to the gym, or who just, they don't want to be kept up half the night, or want a cleaner workout, it's a good product for that. So these have always been bestsellers. PES is great for doing sort of trustworthy products that you're just going to want to buy again and again, which is why we've done so well with it. It's the same with Ghost, to be honest. So we got that in sour green apple as well. And last but not least, we have their amino complex. I'll bring that in again. Let's keep it fair. Sour green apple. Ooh, tasty splash. Yeah, so the cool thing, I mean, they're all vegan friendly, these supplements from PES, but again, Amino-IV for BCAAs is less common being vegan friendly. So you get BCAAs, it's got added EAAs as well. It's not probably the most complete package in terms of like a full-on amino drink, but they focused on what's the most effective. They're focused on actually delivering stuff that's going to do something for you, and they do promise the leucine. So there's a full 5 grams of leucine in there, and in terms of, on the nerdy techie stuff as much as I understand it, spurring on, promoting muscle protein synthesis, leucine seems to be the key component. Yes, it works in concert with the other BCAAs, but leucine is the key thing you want to make sure you get in there. So they give you a good hit of the leucine, that's cool, and then they've added in taurine and a couple of other bits as well, and cool, it's got electrolytes and things. So it will, even beyond the recovery boosting that you will get with this, it's actually going to help with endurance and avoiding cramps and just keeping you hydrated for a workout, which is always a good thing, kids. So there you go. We've got all of them in there at the moment. First batch of these, we didn't get tons of tubs in. It's not had the sort of full EU launch as yet with the distributors, but we had to bring some in ourselves. So yeah, high volume prolific, Amino-IV, sour green apple is in there now. Yeah, I mean, I will say on the Amino-IV in particular, PES are going through a process of phasing out a load of flavors. So you'll notice on our site we have a few dated tubs. These are still perfectly good to use. We put a fantastic price on them. So if you want to get a bargain on this product with these flavors whilst they still exist, and this is no more batches after this, now's your chance to jump on. I think when all is said and done and the dust has settled, there will be 4 or 5 flavors instead of the sort of 8 or 9 we were up to. And it's the same. I think we've lost Sunrise in the prolific, and I think we've lost the Paradise Cooler in the high volume. I might be wrong on that, but they have been whittling it down a little bit. And there you go. So PES done. So jumping on to Ghost, I've obviously keep mentioning Ghost. The Pina Colada, I'll show you this one. So if you like pina coladas, I'm being subjected to my singing. It's yeah, an easy hook marketing wise to sell this product is the Pina Colada song. Everyone knows that. It's one of the sort of favourite cheesy classics. Pina Colada, yes, it's probably more of a summer appropriate one. But this is, again, a very good ghosty take on it. They already had a very nice pineapple sort of flavouring system in their pump product. So it does pick up a lot from that. But I think Burn has a natural, well, I hate to use the word burn because it'll put people off, but it has a pepperiness thanks to the ingredients in there. The same ingredients that kind of raise your metabolic level, raise your core temperature, make you sweat and actually let this product work its magic. It needs a little bit more TLC to cover that and make it a pleasant drink. So the pineapple flavour, the juiciness of that is very authentic juice flavour, as always with Ghost, cuts through quite sharply. And then there is the pepperiness in the background, but the coconut that you get from the Pina Colada side of things actually offsets that quite nicely as well. So it smooths the whole package out and it makes it a thoroughly enjoyable cocktail style flavour. even in this product. Well, there you go. So it does taste quite similar to the pineapple pump, but there is definitely the coconut flavor in the background there, and then the slight pep, you know, the kind of hit from the pepperiness, which personally I quite enjoy. And indeed, this product is best drunk long. You usually drink the Legend quite short. This is designed to be drunk long. So you might notice it is a bit fiery if you're just having it in 100 mils as a sort of pre-workout, but it's more often used, okay, sitting at your desk as sort of going through your day, or if you're doing low intensity solid state cardio, you're doing steps or something, or you're sipping it through your workout. If you fill a shaker with it, then the flavor will be loads milder, there'll be no peppery burn to it at all, and it's just quite a pleasant drink. And it's even better served over ice and stuff. So you can do that with a little cocktail umbrella and a straw in the summer or in the spring as you're thinking about getting your beach bodies ready. But it's in the mix now, and so a few tubs have gone out, but it's probably not the ideal time of year for something like this. But yeah, that's the latest thing we've got in from Ghost. In terms of Ghost, we are low on a few bits and pieces, but we should have another restock due in the week ahead. So a little bit more vegan hopefully coming in, because I think half the flavours have gone out there, or very nearly gone. We are completely out of the green apple Legend. So we have the sour watermelon, we have the lemon lime. Everything else I think is in. But yeah, we do have a few more bits and pieces coming. Ghost have been very busy. They've got Gamer coming, they've got Greens coming. Yeah, they won't be too long now at all. I think they've got a product called Glow coming. So they are looking at more of the sort of Alani Nu style, kind of beauty lifestyles, you know, sort of thing. And yeah, so keep an eye out. Lots of exciting products from this year. Loads more collab stuff, including collab ways. So yeah, we'll get as much as we can, as quickly as we can, in the mix, as always. Okay, I'm still alive, and we're still going. So we're on 46 minutes, so it's shorter than last week. That's great. So this basically covers it. What's coming up ahead? Swolsome has been hammered again. Maddie is running way behind, I'm sorry to say. But whilst we won't have a restock probably this coming week, we should have early the week after, and it should come with 2, if not 3, new flavours. Obviously, we are coming up on Valentine's Day, so it's always nice. Maddie's always done stuff for that, so there will be a new bar for that. And we have a couple of other bars kind of for the new year, flavour of the month style things, kind of for spring. Tried them all spectacular. You're in for a real treat. So as they say, good things come to those who wait. So you should have to wait a little bit longer on that. I've also begged Maddie for some birthday cake back. So we haven't had our Pick and Mix exclusive birthday cake flavour. That's the sort of white chocolate one with the the pink and silver sort of, you know, sprinkly glitter crunchy balls on top, and the sort of jam filling and the vanilla core. We haven't had that for 6 weeks, 2 months. So it's been way too long, and we did say, oh, should we just forget about it? But we've had so many requests. We're certainly doing one more batch. We'll have some of those in. We'll have some more of the caramel shortcake vegan-y ones in. Yeah, well, we're doing what we can, but Maddie's kind of maxed out. That's the problem. But it's nice to be too busy, right? What else? Oh yeah, restock-wise, we did finally get the GOT7 one, and we got some new bits. This comes in from Germany. We have got their new flavour drops. So up till now, we've been doing their glassy bottles here, the sort of posh ones, are a tiny bit more expensive, very intense flavours. Butter Biscuit is back, everyone loves this one. We have got their 30ml drops. You might instantly think, oh, that looks like a Frankie's Bakery drop. I think, to be honest, it's pretty much the same thing. So all vegan-friendly, sugar-free, calorie-free, the rest, but it's a different take on it. They're actually slightly better priced than the Frankie's Bakery ones. We have a better relationship with the GOT7 guys, and hopefully, whilst there's not quite the range of flavours, all the big hitters are ticked off, like caramel, vanilla, there's a lemon cake, there is cookies and cream, there's a raspberry tart, yeah, there's a whole bunch of flavours. There's coconut, there's about 8 or 9 we've got so far. Come in these cute display boxes as well, so we can put them out in the shop. But yeah, Frankie's Bakery's ones are always really hard to get hold of. We will hopefully have a better supply of these. So give these a try and see what you think. They're, to my taste, they come in very close to Frankie's Bakery ones, but slightly cheaper than the glassy bottles here. Slightly different range of flavours, but way to go, GOT7. These are good, nice launch for the year. We have also got all of the chips and crisps back. So these are my favourite, the protein snack. These are essentially nachos, so they've got lovely spice to them. There's like good value. They're big, full bags for these. So all the GOT7 stuff's a fantastic price. And yeah, these are my absolute favourite paprika flavoured ones here. And then we've got the, I think 4 or 5 flavours, 5 flavours of the protein chips. Yeah, again, big generous bags in there. You get, ooh, what is it? I think 50-gram bags. So it's 2 servings per bag, technically. and that's 20 grams of protein in a bag of these, and they're like £1.50 or something. So yeah, that's actually really spectacular, but very satisfying kind of proteiny disky things. You've seen these before. Greek style is one of my favourites, but we've got sour cream back, we've got barbecue back, we've got paprika back. Yeah, all in the mix now, and we've also finally got more of their classic sauces back. So I think this one was out, the spicy garlic, the garlic. Thousand Island was pretty much out. Barbecue was pretty much out. Aioli was pretty much out. So they're all back in the mix as well. Love these ones. They are ever so slightly higher calorie. I mean, it's still 3 calories a portion. It's essentially nothing, right? But they are distinctly thicker than many of the other calorie-free, low-calorie sauces we've got. And certainly when you're coming to barbecue and some of the more salad dressing-y ones, that's really nice. So it actually makes these... for my money, these are the ones I take home, basically. So yeah, tip for the top. And they're slightly smaller bottles, but they're also slightly better price. So I think they're $3.79 or $3.50 instead of the $3.99 we usually have on the Waldens and the Skinny Food Co. So yeah, if you have not been wowed by the Skinny Food Co, I certainly suggest you try this. Barbecue's a winner. Spicy burger's awesome. My dad's addicted to the Thousand Island. And I mean, they even do weird ones like pesto, but the spicy garlic's good. The aioli's good. What else? They do a sweet tomato that was actually quite popular. So that's a ketchup one. The ketchup's quite a good texture. And they do a tomato and basil that people like. It tastes a bit like pasta sauce to me. So, I mean, it's probably good stirred in with something, but in and of itself, maybe not great. But yeah, the spicy burger, I'd say try that if you haven't. And the barbecue is probably the nicest barbecue we do. Anyway, they're all back in. Got a massive pallet of stuff. It arrived super late on a Friday. We have got... what's coming in the week ahead. We'll have more of these. We only have one small batch to start. We've got tons more coming. We will have... Oh, I don't know. That's it. That's probably about all you're going to get from me productively at this point, so I'm going to shut up. So yeah, all these new snacks in the mix right now. We'll do a big proper launch on the PhD SmartCakes in the week ahead. We're going to do a proper launch on the blender bottles with the new styles in the week ahead. They should be all on the website now. Yes, we just did the post of these, so they're in there in the moment. That's it. Yeah, January's been a whirlwind, guys, so thank you for sticking with us and keeping us so busy as well. Check out some of the new functionality on site. Again, DM us, email us. From a technical side of things, it'll probably be me getting back to you, but I'm always interested to know if there are any more features or anything else you'd like to have added or any massive bugs. I mean, sometimes we find people have got horrible glitches they found in the site and they just disappear. So they just go to other websites or give up or say, oh, I'll try again later, and they don't actually tell us, oh, wait, this is completely knackered. So we'd always rather know when there's a glitch or it looks like there's a glitch, because we can either fix it, I can fix it, or we can say, oh, actually it's supposed to work like this, or maybe we've built something in a slightly confusing way. But yeah, there are new functionalities going to the site. I'm going to add some more stuff as well. You'll see more review widgets going around, more notification things we'll be sending out as well. We're going to do a more dedicated tracking page. We're going to be tarting up some of the terms and conditions and stuff as well. You'll notice Millie started doing snack shots and sup shots on the Instagram. So if you jump over to our Instagram, you'll see there's a new highlight for them. But these are kind of little bite-sized chunks where we put sort of one of the sexy food porny style images and give you some of the USPs to the various products. It's just at a glance, instead of me being mega long-winded, you can see why you'd pick certain products. Yeah, we're trying a whole bunch of stuff anyway. But thank you for watching, guys. Have a fantastic week. Well, I hope you had a fantastic weekend by the time this one goes live. And yeah, look forward to seeing you guys in the mix soon to try some of these new bits and pieces. And don't forget to let us know what you think. So, bye for now.